All right.
I know the answer to question 1.
All right, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Google Doc. Am I missing that?
Oh, Izzy, it's on the Google Doc, the design research discussion board that we had from last time, and it's all the way at the bottom.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Thanks.
Sarah, you talking about describe the 4 levels of measurement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, nominal level, it's the lowest level, and it involves using numbers simply to categorize attributes.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah.
Is female.
Yeah, male and female,
Yeah.
like gender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I added that to the thing, to the Google Docs.
okay.
So it's just a simple level of measurement, I guess. And then
Okay.
ordinal is the next one. And it's like when you would be ranking people on an attribute. So it's like, how do you feel today? And you could do 1 as very unhappy to 5 as very happy.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what an ordinal level of measurement is.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then there's 2 more. The next is interval.
Yep.
And that
I'm gonna type
is
this.
when you're ranking people on an attribute and it specifies the distance between them.
Mhm.
Do you know any more about that one, Joe? Did you see that
All
one?
I read is that the number, like whatever number you classify the category, it's gonna be important. That's all I read about it.
Did you see an example?
No, let me
Example
see.
of
Interval level
Measurement?
measurements,
Is
examples.
it describing like how much of a difference is between each ordinal spot? Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, maybe that's all it is. Yeah.
Just because like I'm thinking if you think of like the pain scale, for example, like 1 to 10,
Yeah, it says
like,
scale.
it's only 1 to 10, but if you were to do 1 to 5, there's obviously like a greater interval in between. That's what I don't know. I also didn't look it up, but
Yeah, it says between measurements, but no true zero. So yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then the difference between the 2 values, it's meaningful. Like you said, if you're doing 1 to 5 or 1 to 10.
So the
And then
difference,
the last one, oh, sorry, go ahead.
the difference between the values is meaningful.
Mhm.
And
Are
then
you looking up the answers to these things in the book, like the pictures that we're looking at?
I just
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Googled it, but I think the pages that we need to go on some of the questions, I sent that in the group chat, but I think the
Yeah,
rest.
that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And then for ratio, we have absolute 0.
Mm-hmm.
I need an example.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Oh, here, I have some examples. So like for ratio, an example would be like height, weight, time, or age.
Okay. Under ratio?
Yes.
That's what it says, but then is that what that means, not having an absolute 0? You guys know what I'm talking about? Or having an absolute 0, I mean.
Let me see. Yeah, it's somewhere.
I don't really know what does that mean? Because like to me, ratio is like one
0
part
absolute.
this, one part that. Or like
does it mean that like no data, like any data is above 0?
Okay, has a true 0, thus ratio between the values can be calculated. So does that mean if it's a 0, you can't calculate the ratio, like the ratio between them?
Yeah, that would make sense.
like
Like
I just
equal?
looked up.
Yeah, okay, wait, you're right, because it can't be 0. Your height can't be 0, your weight can't be 0.
Right.
That's exactly what that is.
Okay.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Robbie?
I just said that I found that it's like a common example is like length, duration, mass, money, age, for example.
Oh, so
Yeah.
maybe it's something we could, if age is an example, we're using.
Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of.
And then I
the-
also just added for interval, I looked
that.
up, I guess some examples are like temperature, score, IQ. I don't know, like.
Yeah, that's her interval. Did we get it
It- and it
nominal
did-
as gender and religion? Sorry.
That's okay.
Nominal.
Yeah,
We wrote gender. What's another one?
religion, ethnicity.
I'm also looking at this ratio thing and it says it's like a good way, it's useful to evaluate like things, for example, like sales price, like a share in something and a number of customers, but like in our example would be like a number of participants, I feel like.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
point.
Grade.
Number of people in a household, number of students who identify as religious, they're all example.
I mean, if also just side note, if we type some of this up, I guess we could post it for her. Like we won't have to finish everything, but just for her to like get an idea of what we're
Yeah,
thinking, if she has feedback. I
it
don't know.
can't hurt to
Yeah.
include both.
Are we on number 2?
Yeah, we can move on to that.
Okay.
I just added in like types of descriptive statistics.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, I think we all took stats, but kind of like
Yeah.
the bell curve,
Mhm.
like,
I
You know
took
what I mean?
stats so long ago, I
Yeah.
feel like.
me too. I feel like I took it in like 20.
yeah.
I took it last summer, guys, and I don't really remember anything from it. So
But I think it's pretty straightforward. Like, somebody already
Mhm.
wrote to summarize the data,
Yeah,
which
I
means you
wrote
can just like
that.
summarize and interpret the meaning of a
Mhm.
data count or whatever.
The
Summarize the data.
Like,
And then,
Okay.
if you guys like, I think, I don't know if we have to include an example, but like you could do test scores.
Yeah, that's good.
sorry.
Like some people would give the average, they're like, oh, the
Mhm.
class average was this, but it's
Mhm.
more important if you were to like add the standard deviation, because then you know how many people scored within range.
Yeah. And isn't the standard deviation like show if it's significant or not or something? Or not?
Yeah, if your score is like, it can show like how many, I don't know, like standard deviations away from the mean that you scored,
Right.
and like how many people, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mm,
are we defining what a mean, median, and mode are? Is that what it's asking?
I don't think so. I think someone just put that in as an example.
Okay.
um,
Find a research study. I can look for a research study that's like on test scores or something.
yeah.
Or does it have to be more related to?
That's what I'm wondering. Do we have to maybe relate this more to like our topic, or is this like a you know,
General.
yeah, like for us to get thinking in the statistical way to then be able to, I don't know.
I think it's more general, like you said, for us to be thinking how we're gonna do ours. But it doesn't have to be specific.
I
to
saw that
ours.
descriptive statistics are used to summarize and describe a variable or variables for a sample of data.
I guess we
like-
could find a research study that relates to our topic if they have statistical data.
Mhm.
I was trying to find one for oral contraceptives, because I don't know how like specific we can get, but
Research
there
study.
should be a couple of like graphs and charts. Like, hold on. Trying to like,
Oh, I was like, you're in the passenger seat, right?
yes.
I was like, wow, she's really good.
I was like, yeah, I can't do. I was just gonna say I couldn't do the Zoom if I was driving.
I was very confused how you were doing that too.
I was like, wow,
I
she's
know.
doing a lot.
Wait, are you already in New York or are you in Massachusetts? Oh wait, sorry.
I'm
we're
in
on
Massachusetts.
record.
No, it's okay.
Back to work.
Yes. Yeah, I wonder if one of our articles we used for like our first thing, Izzy, maybe. I feel like they have a lot of tables that I didn't know how to read at first.
Or maybe we could have
Yeah, they
Fran do
definitely
that,
have
and that could be
good
her
amount.
contribution.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could have Fran do that.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
And when we post it, we can just like write like, hey, Fran, just answer question number 3.
And I think question number 4, it's about the same thing, like after you answer 3.
Oh, 4 too. Okay.
And write about what the descriptive is.
And
I
then
think that's fine, right?
Mhm.
yeah. And
Just
then
have
we
her
can
do
just,
those two.
yeah, and then we'll just text, since she couldn't make the meeting today, like last minute, we'll text her and let her know what she needs to do. And then we'll also post it on the discussion board so she can see it.
Agreed. So should we go on to question 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this is more in your research proposal. How would you use descriptive statistics? Okay, well, great. We have to know what that is.
I said it, but I said it earlier. It just says it's used to summarize and describe a variable or variables for a sample of data.
Okay.
And it says,
Okay, so what are our variables?
Is it the non-user, never users and or contraceptive? Are those our 2 variables?
yeah, I would say so.
Is that what it is? I have no idea.
Like for like an example, it says, as opposed to drawing conclusions about any larger population from which the sample was drawn.
I'm gonna pull up one of the articles we use and see like their section, because I think
I'm just typing some stuff for some of the further questions because I might actually have to leave this call early if you don't mind, but I'll keep working on the doc.
that's
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just
But
gonna
I'll let you know when I'm leaving.
let me see. Oral contraceptives.
Describing, summarizing, and organizing data so it can be easily understood. So it doesn't even necessarily have to be the variable. Oh, here's an example. Descriptive statistics are procedures to organize, summarize, and present data in an informative way. Example 1, the average test score for the students in a class. Oh, that's it. The average test score for the students in a class. Or it could be mean, median, mode. See, I don't understand this stuff.
I know. So I was just
Wait,
pulling
what was the question?
We will be talking about the age group for our population, for our research, like people who got cancer. I
yeah.
don't know.
So I was pulling up a article, like one of the articles we use, because they have a methods section. So I'm just trying to like, so it looks like they did, their controls were age, residential area, and then duration of attending.
Okay.
Of the 514 women. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll look at a couple of them. I'm just trying to get an idea of like what they're talking about, because I don't really. Let's see. Oral contraceptives.
It's really hard to relate our topic to this specific
I know.
thing. Like,
It's also like kind of newer like stuff for us. We're like, we don't.
yeah. I mean, when it talks about like the descriptive statistics and like summarizing collected research data in a logical, meaningful way, I think that ours, since we like created that hypothetical app, that's like a really good way to collect research data in a logical, meaningful way. And it's efficient. So I feel like that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think for each category, like we talk about BMI, age, and like we're gonna have to analyze them using the.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna have to analyze different aspects on each other.
Mhm.
Like you were saying, like we have to do like age with like
Mhm.
never users, age
Mhm.
with oral contraceptive users. I mean, I guess we didn't really figure out exactly like the specific region, but I guess we could do area too if we wanted to. We don't have to because we're kind of picking like all over New England.
Mhm. Okay, so let's see.
I'm just trying to read these like I don't really. But I guess to be able to compare, we would have to do age versus contraceptives, age versus, right? So
Yeah, I think I'm reading at one of the article. That's what they did.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
They compare age with BMI.
we could do, oh yeah, BMI, like you said, that's a good one.
Mhm.
I'm just looking. This stuff is all like foreign. um, I mean, I think there's a lot of things you could do if you wanted to get, like this one I'm looking at, they did like educational level, religion, but like I don't think we're getting into that stuff,
Mhm. Mhm.
monthly income. Like I don't think we need to look at that stuff.
Did we talk about age at first use in our previous assignments?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I mean, how many like things do we need, Like is 3 okay?
Yeah,
Oh, can we do ethnicity? We talk about that.
I know I thought that we said we weren't gonna include ethnicity. But
yeah, I think we did.
we are including it.
No, I think sorry that we talked about that we weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that could be one, but
Because we were going to talk about it, like if it became a thing, like a
yeah,
trend, if that we noticed that we would.
because if we do have 5,000 women, that does create a lot of potential like different ethnic groups. So it's like that's a lot of
Yeah.
different ones we have to look at. All right, so we're gonna look at
Can we include smoking? It's more like a risk factor. I don't know.
my only worry is like, didn't we say we were gonna do people who are non-smokers?
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean, we could technically do, if we wanted to, we could do race, and then we could, like, even though we said before we weren't going to, we could just, decide that we're gonna change that.
Okay.
I just don't know if we decide to do like Caucasian versus like not. I just wonder if we'll run into like having like a lot of different groups, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you guys think? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure like how important this part of like our paper is.
Yeah.
Like this might just be like a little piece that we need to include.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So do we want to just like list a few of the things that we're going to basically like compare? We could do like, this is question 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea for right now.
So we're going to do like age versus never users, age versus OC users. Is that what we were calling them? I forget. Or was it just?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to write it. We don't have to use it. We could just do race.
Mm-hmm.
We can, I think at least we're brainstorming it. We can decide later if we want to use it or not. Versus, let's see. What was the other one we were gonna do? Oh, BMI.
BMI.
Mhm. And then smokers versus non-smokers.
Yeah, I feel like that's plenty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. We don't have to even use all of these. At least we have the ideas here and we can decide.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna-
So I just started looking up the, oop, what did I just do? I'm sorry. I just looked up what the next question was, inferential statistics.
Mhm.
So it's used to compare the differences between the treatment groups.
So would that be like between our never users and our users?
Maybe, let me see, I'm trying to find an example. It uses measurements from the sample of subjects in the experiment to compare the treatment groups and make generalizations about the larger population of subjects.
Okay,
So
I interpret that
we're-
as users, never users.
yes, that's what we're comparing,
Okay.
Okay.
right?
And
Mhm.
then from that, we would be able to make generalized inferences for like the whole population of people who use birth control and people who don't, or
Mhm.
contraceptive. Okay.
Correct, definitely.
Um,
An example I found, it says the mean SAT score for all 11 graders in the US. That's one example. And
Of
then for
inferential?
hours, we can say the mean, not, I lost my thought. Like we can talk about the amount of people who got breast cancer after using the oral contraceptive, like the mean number.
like how many of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because we're checking them at 5 years. So if we say we started with 5,000 and then of the ones that used oral contraceptives after 5 years, let's say 1,000 of them have breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then never users, 500 have breast cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we could write like looking. Oh wait, that's under, sorry. Are we writing that under the, do you think the inferential statistics, or are we writing that under number 6?
I think you'll need to use inferential. Discuss. Yes, right. Below. Do you think?
Okay, so here. So okay. So I guess, yes, Sarah, if you want to write, I can just
Yeah, I can write.
say yes, because we will be looking at the number of women who develop breast cancer at
as oral contraceptive users.
Yeah, and never users.
Okay. Users and at 5 years.
Yep, and 10 years. And we could say like in comparison to our original sample population or something like that. Just to because I guess then we could compare, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're gonna compare the dependent variable with the independent variable, like using oral contraceptive versus never use.
Of 5,000. Yeah, because we start out with 5,000 people.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
This formatting is really weird.
It is when you go to like hit enter, it kind of makes like a triple
I know.
space.
I think it's because it was like
Um,
copied from a PDF or something. I don't know.
Mhm. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
I already went ahead and just answered what those things were in 7.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, I did too. I didn't.
You guys
Did you
are
just
awesome.
paste that? Mine's like way down. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
We
I
can
just
combine
answered it.
them.
I just put it in parentheses like right after the question.
All right, we'll talk it out and we can just like add it. I mean, sure, it's both good. So
Oh,
7, when a
I think you
researcher,
probably didn't see because mine like literally had like 70 spaces down.
oh yeah, I see it down here. So 7 says when a researcher reports that a result is statistically significant, what does that mean? So statistical significance refers to the claim that a result from data generated by testing or experimentation is likely to attribute to a specific cause. A high degree of statistical significance indicates that an observed relationship is unlikely to be due to chance. And then Izzy has, I don't even know what the, okay, 6. Oh my God.
Great answer.
Yeah, I just have now I have to interpret it.
Sounds good.
I'm like, what does that mean? So it relates to a specific cause. Our cause is breast cancer, right?
Mhm.
The data generated by testing it is likely to attribute. Okay, so basically that what we test shows that it relates to something, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So us testing never users and oral contraceptive users over time would show that the users of oral contraceptives you would see more instances of breast cancer development than never users. If we're saying hypothetically, that our study is going to show that, right?
Yeah.
And then
What is
I
a
went
p
down and-
value? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just saying I am going to leave 2 minutes to go to security, but I answered some of them down, like I think 8, 9, and 10, but they're like brief. So just I'll
thanks, Izzy.
just so no.
Okay.
I don't want to leave you hanging.
No, perfect. Thanks for answering that. We'll just read what you wrote and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
Have
and
a
I'll
safe
keep an eye
flight.
while I'm there.
Have fun.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Izzy.
Bye.
Okay.
So we have our answer for p value.
Mhm.
Considered to be statistically significant if it's less than 0.05, in which case the null hypothesis should be rejected.
Mhm.
Okay, so we know that. Okay, so it looks like you and Robbie, you and Izzy kind of put the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
My exam just came out.
What?
My exam grade just can't. I can't look. No, look at it.
Who do you have?
Oh,
Whatever.
mine did too.
Poverty.
I just looked. Mine's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Same. I can't not look. I'm like, I'm not gonna look, and I have to look. Okay. Whew.
Okay, mine's not as bad as I thought it was gonna
Although
be.
I'm like leaving 6 points back, so whatever. It is what it is. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. Okay. So basically what we would hope is that our p-value would be less than 0.5.
That's less.
What'd you say?
Say
What'd
it
you say,
again. Sarah.
Sarah?
Huh?
What did you say?
Oh, I think it just went out. I just said congrats, everyone. We can have a good weekend now. We got our
Yeah.
I know. We only have one more, well, besides finals, one more exam for each class. We're good.
Yeah.
We're doing
Like
it.
you said, we're doing it.
We're doing it. That's going through life right
Yeah.
now. All right. So if we would hope that our p-value, like hypothetically, would be less than 0.05,
Mm-hmm.
because then that would show that our hypothesis about oral contraceptives contributing to breast cancer development would be significant, right?
Yeah, I remember studying that in statistics, but I don't remember how to calculate the p-value.
Yeah, I don't either. I remember doing
I
it.
don't
That's
remember
too.
either.
I'd have to like, I think I had.
Okay.
Would approve that oral contract.
Oh,
Is this correct, what I just wrote? We want our p-value to be less than 0.05. This would prove that OCs contribute to breast cancer.
That sounds good.
yeah. Oh God, it's some like crazy formula. I remember this chart though. There's some like chart and you like use the number and you go like the.
Mm.
I
Oh, someone
haven't
already wrote that.
I haven't written like done this in so long.
I don't know if we'll actually have to calculate anything though, because this is all hypothetical.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think we will. If we do, I'll have to dive into that a little bit. Okay.
So did
think this-
Izzy write this answer
She
under
said
what's
in the
statistically
last-
significant?
I think she.
Where I just highlighted.
Yeah, I think she did write that.
Mhm.
So we can write, we will want we want to see the p-value under 0.05. Okay. So now we're on the 8, 9, and 10, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we have those pages. So the first one for 8 is page 246, and it says, in your textbook, summarize in your own words the paragraph under the heading interpreting hypothesized results.
Okay, shall we read it?
Yeah, so it looks like it goes from the first page to the second page, like interpreting like 246 to 247.
Mhm.
Right.
Just gonna have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Are we talking about interpreting non-significant results or just the results?
I think just the hypothesized results for this question.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's
So
actually saying like, like I think of this as like they always say like if two things are increased, they don't necessarily, one doesn't cause the other.
Okay.
Like, okay, for example, like shark attacks and ice cream is increased in the summer, right? But
Mhm.
shark attacks don't cause ice, like people to eat ice cream, right? Like they both are increased during the summer months, but they don't cause each other.
Yeah, and then they can also happen by luck. Two things can cause the other to increase, but by like pure luck.
Right. like their example about like anxiety decreasing with more children, but they have no data to support it. So it's just like a,
Mhm.
I don't know if like, I'm just trying to think how that relates to ours.
I mean, I feel like something that would relate to ours is like them like someone using oral contraceptives could develop cancer, but they could develop a secondary cancer that's unrelated to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like unless we can prove it, we can like experimentally prove it.
We
We
can't say
cannot
it.
say, yeah.
It's yeah, exactly. Even though it might show it, like this is saying like women who don't have like they have a good relationship with their husband that could reduce anxiety, but they have like no proof on it. It's just something that they like think. Because basically, yeah, it's like we need to prove our hypothesis through statistical data with a causative factor.
I just wrote something. I put, for example, even if someone uses oral contraceptives, they may develop breast cancer from another cause.
Exactly. And we can't rule
That's
out
right.
every cause. Like we try our best
we
to screen
can't
out
rule out-
everything,
yeah.
but we can't, you know. Yeah, that's totally true. Or, you know, like we said too, like maybe there's one ethnic group that is really high with breast cancer. I don't know if we necessarily could say like, oh, oral contraceptives causes like Caucasians to get breast cancer more than another. Like maybe like, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't necessarily know if that's the case, although it might.
Like to prove something like that, we'll need a control group, and
They would have to,
you go and do an experiment to really see if your hypothesis is true.
yeah, exactly. And then what is a type 1 error? I think it's,
Oh, let me see. I thought I had this type
has it
1.
on 247 type 1. Oh,
I think Izzy answered it. It says rejection of the null hypothesis when it's actually true.
Yes,
So,
it's false positive result.
false positive.
or we could do it like a pregnancy test kind of thing. Like you could have-
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's so
I got that from
Good one.
the lecture too. So
Yeah, that's good. False positive pregnancy test. I didn't even think about that.
What are we talking about mammograms in ours? Because couldn't like an abnormal mammogram also be a false positive?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
point.
Because I mean, you could have an abnormal one and it could be,
Not be breast cancer.
Yeah,
It could
exactly.
just be like a cyst or something.
yeah. Or it could be missed, right? They might think it's
Yeah.
not cancerous and then.
Okay, and then a type 2 error.
it's false negative.
Yeah. Like a COVID test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
Let's see
wow.
what
Someone
that-
did write that. Izzy wrote a COVID test.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
What would an example be with our, I'm just like, can we think of anything? I'm just curious.
False. Well, I mean, you could just completely miss a lump. Like if people are doing self breast exams.
Yeah.
and they-
Yeah, that's true. It could be like too small. Or they're not maybe like self-examining correctly, so they're missing it.
Yeah.
Or
Plowing through. We only got 2 more
couldn't it be
questions.
a false negative pregnancy test also? No.
Yeah, it happened. People
like-
actually pregnant
I think
and
that's rare though. It's more so the false positive.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if you like did a pregnancy test, sometimes it'll say.
if you do it too early,
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with the COVID test. Okay.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Page 247 under non-significant result.
Okay, so
I think
Oh, now we're doing non-significant.
use of oral contraceptives does not cause, in parentheses, can change to or play a role in development of breast cancer. That's what she wrote underneath it.
Under which one?
Question 9.
9.
Oh, use of oral does not cause. All right, let me read what it's about.
This stuff is so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
What makes me feel? I'm like, huh? Like, give me a science book. Okay.
You said, give me a science book.
Literally, like, never thought I'd say that. I think I know it better. Okay, I'm just gonna read the example. Sometimes that helps. There's an example on 248. God, what? I honestly, the example doesn't even help me, so I might Google it. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Okay, I don't know.
I'd like to dumb down a little bit.
Yeah, but
But is what Izzy wrote an example of that? Like, use of oral contraceptives does not cause.
Yeah. I need to like.
Because that is like our hypothesis is saying that it does, but it can also not, like
Okay.
that's what I'm
is
getting.
that what that means?
I think so.
Yeah, it says
No, I think
significantly non-significant, statistically non-significant, shows the differences as a large. The differences would be expected to occur by chance, not by statistics. I don't
yeah, I think Izzy's answer is right.
Yeah, I don't know how she.
Maybe we should just leave it at that for now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on.
Because we're working on this next week too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she'll be able, if she kind of understood that better, she'll be able to contribute.
Yeah.
All right, so 240. So we're on to 10.
Yeah.
And this one is unhypothesized.
Provide an example of what significant result, contrary to your hypothesis, might be for your research proposal. Okay, I'm gonna read what an unhypothesized.
All
Like
right.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, it takes something we didn't previously considered, and then it happened to be true.
Okay, so if we didn't do race,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
and some races showed higher incidences of breast cancer with oral contraceptive use,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
like we just happened to find it.
Mhm.
So this is that something we had not previously considered is actually significant in the results, statistically significant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or maybe there's a specific age group that was like really high. I mean, I know we had like a premenopausal, but maybe there was like, I don't know, certain like younger than 30 or over 30.
A specific.
Or maybe, I mean, with race, maybe there was one race group that just happened to have higher instances of breast cancer development without using oral contraceptives. Does that mean that like certain races are at risk for breast cancer development? You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it'd be, or
Well, I guess we only need to do one example here. So what if we
Okay,
just
that's
write
fine.
a specific
think that
ethnic
that's
group
yeah, it could
may
be with breast
display
cancer,
higher rates of breast cancer?
with like, yeah, oral contraceptive use or not.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Should this be it for now?
Yeah, I think this is
think.
good. Do you think I don't mind posting it on, I can post it or someone else can post it. I'll post a Zoom recording. I can post it on the discussion board and then we can just write at the bottom like Fran answer questions 3 and 4, I think.
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Okay.
Mhm.
And then we can just text in the group chat to say to tell her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Izzy did a decent amount.
I'm-
I'll just have Izzy look over it too, I guess. But
I'm going through and bolding all of the questions, and I'm just going to write that like in our little top of our document, just because it's hard to tell what the actual questions are.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna stop recording since we finished.
Okay.